This is not wire. This is fiber. It's at the heart of the Gbtc giga region.
Ready?
Okay.
Call today and ask for a gig, which is up to 1,000 megabits per second internet speed through the Gbtc giga region. Unlimited long-distance phone service, 24/7 home security monitoring, and free whole home DVR with our HD TV service. Gbtc, just plain smart.
It is episode 2 of Inside Rangers Football 2015 edition. Brant Freeman here with you as always with the head coach of the Rangers, Larry Hill. Big show today because we're recapping a big win for Smithson Valley. In week 2, the Rangers knocked off Brennan 35-28. That snapped a 34-game regular season winning streak for the Brennan Bears. And Coach, you and I previewed that game here last week, spoke about what a great program they have been over the past 2-3 seasons. That was a pretty big win for your program.
Well, it is. You know, we won a lot of games here ourselves, but you know, obviously in recent years, they and a few others have put on quite a show. And you know, they have a lot of key returners. We're still early in the year trying to find our way. So to beat a quality opponent like that, who's on that kind of a roll, you know, shot in the arm for our guys. We're
going to see some of the big plays that you had Friday night, including the game winner. But let's go ahead and focus on that one right now. Minutes ago of the game, you're tied at 28. Take us back to that play.
Well, you know, we had just made a stop defensively. They had to punt. We had the ball near midfield. The punt didn't go very far into the wind. And just a throwback play we've run a number of times through the years, and it worked. They were open. We had great protection. Josh made a good read, put enough loft on the ball to get it over the linebacker's head. And Lane Ralston there to make the catch and run it in. So still a little time left. Still had to make a stop after the kickoff, but Ranger Stadium was pretty excited at that point.
Now, if anybody has ever been inside of the club of the field house here, you'll see the big chart, and the chart is all about the kicking game. And I've noticed in week 1 there were no stars or check marks. You were looking for something to happen in the kicking game. Well, you got it on Friday night, a blocked field goal return for a touchdown, big play.
No doubt, and you mentioned week 1. We were very disappointed out in Midland. We were tickled to win against a quality opponent on the road, but we had played very ordinary, very bland in the kicking game, made no impact plays. And that was a big focus last week. It is every week. But we knew to beat this kind of opponent, we were going to have to make a play or several plays. We got two. We got a blocked extra point. You mentioned the blocked field goal that Matt Sandoval blocked, and Derrick Hausler ran for a touchdown. And you know, everybody talks about the big throw at the end, but that touchdown, it could also be considered the game winner because we won by 7.
Well, when we previewed the game here last week, I was speaking to you about their playmakers, particularly their tailback, Jamil Jeter. He had a big game on Friday. Just how difficult were they to stop each time they got the football?
Well, very difficult. They have so many weapons and they're so multifaceted, you know, so you can't really key in on one player, one dimension, one way of running or throwing the ball. And when you have that many good athletes attacking you that many ways, it's, well, the missiles are coming from everywhere. And we, I guess the best way to describe, we made just enough plays to win. We certainly didn't dominate. I'm not sure anybody can with Brennan, but we did what we had to do.
You mentioned dominate. There have been so many regular seasons in which you do dominate your opponents, get a lot of blowout wins, lopsided victories, but these first 2 weeks you win by 7 in week 1, 7 in week 2. What does that say about your football team to grind out those kind of wins the first 2 weeks of a season?
Well, there's 2 ways to look at that. We need to play better in the first 3 quarters. But yes, I think he did gain some confidence. 2 weeks in a row inside of 5 minutes, and in this case, inside of 1 minute, where we score the game winner and make a stop on defense to win it. Those kinds of things have got to help you later on when you're playing big ball games that count. As big as this win was, a non-district game, we're still feeling our way around, trying to improve, get good enough to go where we want to go. These kinds of experiences are going to help that.
All right, big game, big win. That means there were big plays to be made. Let's take a look at what the Rangers pulled off in the film room.
Let's go look at them. Our first big play is a special teams touchdown. Score 7-7. Brennan's on our end of the field, and they're trying to kick a field goal to take a 10-7 lead. At the very top of the screen with the arrow on him is Matt Sandoval. At the bottom of the screen is Derrick Hausler. 2 wide receivers who actually excel on the special teams. As the play unfolds, snap comes down, and if you watch Matt coming off the edge, He's going to block the kick, and Derrick Hausler is going to run over here to what we call the pickup spot. If the ball is blocked, it usually comes off at that angle. So he's at the pickup spot to pick the ball up and go 80 yards for a touchdown. Let's watch it unfold. There's the block by Matt. Derrick takes it on a hop. Very fortuitous hop. We don't always get an oblong ball bouncing straight up. But you can see generating great excitement in the stadium. And so instead of being behind 10-7, we're actually ahead 14-7. Let's look at it from the rear. There's Matt coming in from the left, a little different angle now, and there's Derrick circled on the right there, going to the pickup spot. Now you can see it from behind. Right off the tee, one hop to Derrick. Guys showing great discipline, not blocking behind the play. A lot of excitement in the stands, a lot of excitement on the sidelines. Big play for the Smithson Valley to put us in the lead in the first quarter. We had 3 takeaways Friday night, and here's never one more important than this. Okay, we're going to focus on 2 defensive tackles. That's junior Zane Nutzi on the left, senior Jeff Savard on the right with the arrows on them. If you watch as the play unfolds, the penetration they get blows right past their men, play off the blocks, and they're drawing a bead on the running back. Both of them hit him simultaneously. The ball comes out, and when it does, Josh Ernst, number 22, a senior defensive end, falls on it. And we get a big turnover. You can see they were down in the red zone in the all-important second half. Okay. We can watch it from the rear now. There's Jeff on the left, Jeff Savard on the left, Zane Nutzi on the right. Again, as you watch as the play unfolds, get great penetration, knock the ball loose. There it is. The ball's down on the ground on the right. Josh Ernst on the left picks it up, thwarts their drive, gives us great momentum going into the fourth quarter. Of course, this is the play that wins the game. There's less than a minute to go. It's a throwback pass. We fake. I got a lot of arrows here. You can see the quarterback, Josh Atkins, is faking to the left, but he's going to roll back to the right as indicated by the top arrow. And you have 3 receivers. Derrick Hausler on the left is going to go down and in. Lane Ralston's going to go up to the numbers and then up the field. And the guy we're faking to, Ben Zoig's going to go near down the sideline. Josh, after the fake's got to sort all that out and figure which of the 3 to throw to. Get good protection. He makes a perfect throw, lofts it right over the linebacker. You can see the 3 receivers in those key areas. The Brennan linebacker's giving chase. I'll try to slow this down, but you can see the ball just gets over his hand, perfectly placed into Lane Ralston's hand, a senior fullback, runs down the numbers, gets it in the end zone with less than a minute to go to win the game. And those are the plays of the week.
All right, thanks, Coach. With that, we're going to take a break at Inside Rangers Football. Up next, Senior Moments with Emily. We'll be back in a moment.
Rest, ice, compression, elevation, every day. Reagan, are you there? Hello? Are you in there?
Pennucky, I'm sorry. I am so hungry. I need some Chicken Express.
Yeah, Chicken Express does sound good.
With our famous chicken tenders and the best sweet tea in Texas, if someone isn't paying attention to you, they're thinking about Chicken Express.
All of our games this year are big, none bigger than this week's game. So before we get started, let's get one thing
straight.
It doesn't count until your elbows are
Straight!
Get up under him and stand him up.
Straight! 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 Hey, Rylan, we're glad you're here today. We're going to make your teeth perfectly.
Let me guess. Straight? Straight. Straight, of course, straight. Straight. Straight.
Back at Inside Rangers Football, we're going to preview the Game 3 coming up in just a moment against East Central. But here in a moment, we got your Senior Moments with Emily. And Coach, we talked about it last week. We saw it for the first time. This is quite a unique group of seniors you got.
Well, yes, they are. They're great kids, great young men. They're not going to play football much longer. This might be it for a lot of them. Some of them may get an opportunity to play collegiately, perhaps. We don't know how that's going to go. But they're going to be productive young men for the rest of their life. And, I'm very proud of them, their character, and the kind of men that they're going to be down the road.
All right, let's see what kind of men they are right now with Emily.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. So I am here today to remind y'all that y'all are here in large part due to your moms. Before we get started, get out your phone, boys. I want you to text your mama you love her. Okay, so I'm here with Jarrett, Derrick, and Matthew. And boys, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So Jarrett, I'm going to start with you. I would like you to imitate Coach Hill for me when he's mad.
What the heck is going on, boys? What's going on? That's not the play. Run it again.
That's pretty good. All right, Derrick, so I want you to tell me who your favorite Disney character is.
My favorite Disney character is Mike Wazowski. My name is Mike Wazowski.
Pretty good. All right, Matthew, I would like you to tell me your ABCs backwards.
G-Y-X-W.
Impressive.
V-U-T-S-R-P-Q. No. Q-R-S. Wait.
That's good, Matthew. Just give them to me forward now. Jarrett, you told me a funny joke before we got started. You share it with us?
Yes. All right. Why did the bike lay down?
I don't know. Why did the bike lay down?
It was too tired.
All right, Jarrett, Derrick, and Matthew, thanks so much. Coach, back to you.
Coach, that impersonation is ground for a few laps.
Maybe I need to take back some of those comments I made about those seniors a while ago. So we might have to visit about that situation.
All right, well, we're going to put that on the back burner for now because right now in Inside Rangers football, it's time for the Little Men segment, and we're going to find out what it takes to do some pass protection for the offensive line.
Coach Touton's been our offensive line coach all 22, going on 23 years that I've been here, and he's going to be our guest in the Little Men today and talk to us about drop back pass protection.
All right, let's take a look.
With us today is Coach Robert Touton, our offensive line coach, and we're going to focus a little more on who blocks for the passer. How do they block? How do they know who to block? How do they give him time to make these throws? Let's go to the Little Men and take a look. You can see here on the board, the Rangers are in white here, and the ball is frequently snapped to our quarterback, and he'll then, as the running back gets out of his way, he'll drop back 3 steps and ready to make a throw, and maybe these receivers are running routes. Maybe our fullback runs out here into the flats, and our deep inside receiver runs deep, and maybe our outside receiver runs a little hook route in here, and on the backside maybe we run another hook route. And, it can be another whole show entirely to know which one of these guys are we going to throw the football to. But I think what we want to focus on today is what about these 5 offensive linemen and this remaining running back? How do they get these guys blocked? So Coach Touton, why don't you tell our watchers just exactly how that gets done?
Yes, sir. On the inside now we have a man side on the protection scheme and we have a slide side. On this particular play, our man side is on the left, so this tackle would take number 2, the second man from the center. The guard right here would take the first man head up to his side of the center, so these 2 men would be in man protection. On the back side, we will slide the protection. So they actually have a gap scheme. The center would take what's in the A gap, the guard would take what would come in the B gap, and the tackle in the C gap. If they had some kind of stunt here, that man went outside and they had the outside blitz come into the B gap, every man would be taken care of. So that would complete our protection scheme on the inside.
The only other people that we haven't accounted for yet are perhaps a blitz from what Coach Touton called the man side. That would belong to the running back. He would step up and take the outside linebacker if he were to blitz, or even the inside linebacker if he were to blitz. And by doing that, you have 6 blockers, the 5 down lineman and the running back, taking care of these 6 potential rushers. And that's how we drop back pass here and give our quarterback time to throw the football. So let's now go to game clips and watch this in action. This first example is what Coach Touton was referencing on the Little Men. The man side of the protection is to the left. Our halfback and our 2 linemen on the left have each man assigned to them. You can see the arrows. Left tackle's out on the end, the left guard's on the defensive tackle, and the running back's on the linebacker. On the right side is what he called the slide side. You can see each of those guys are simply sliding to their right and picking up whoever comes into the gap. As the play unfolds, the ball's snapped. You can see those guys are on their men, and everybody on the right side is sliding to the right and taking whoever comes through there. Great protection for our quarterback, lays it right down the middle, and we get a touchdown. Here's another example. Back on the left, this is the man side. Again, the left side, all three of those guys, including the running back, are assigned specific men. As the play unfolds, you'll see them take those guys. Everybody on the right is sliding to the right. They're going to take whoever comes into their gap. You can see this team we're playing actually twists their defensive line, and it doesn't present a problem for our offensive line. They simply take who comes through the gap. Nice pickup of the twist. Gives our quarterback time to throw the ball down the middle of the field for a big play. Okay. Looking at it from behind the defense now, the man side is on our left as we look at it. Our running back and two linemen on our left are assigned specific men. They're going to slide. The other side's going to slide. You can see the two with the circles around them are taking their men. The running back's taking the edge blitzer. And on the right side, as we look at it, they're simply sliding and taking whoever's through that gap. Good pass pro, the ball's away. Another touchdown, Smithson Valley. Well, that looked good on game tape. Coach Touton, thanks for showing our viewers how this is done, and thanks for all you do for Smithson Valley football. Now let's go to Ranger Trivia.
This week in Rangers Trivia, how many former Smithson Valley football players are now playing Division I football? Is the answer A, 6, B, 9, or C, 12? The answer is B, 9. 9 former Rangers are now sitting up for Division I football programs. Coach, 9 players of yours, as we just heard, playing Division I football, and a couple of them quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, both of those guys had their debuts last week. Parker McKenzie up there at Abilene Christian, and Garrett Smith, redshirt freshman at University of Louisiana Monroe. He got to go over to Georgia and make some money for the athletic program. But proud of those guys, proud of all those guys, and I think we've got 27 or 28 playing collegiately at some level somewhere.
All right, so the bar has been set high here at Smithson Valley. And then coming up next year in Inside Rangers Football, we're going to be talking about the Rangers' next football game against East Central. That's after the break.
I had my mom make you some cookies, Coach.
Well, that's nice. Thanks. Why'd I get these?
Cookies are for coaches with over 200 wins. Get you a cookie, Coach. Help me out. I need a shameless plug.
Not a problem. If you need video production work, there's not a finer organization than Wick Productions. It's who we've always trusted for our game night school board productions and Inside Ranger Football Coaches Show.
Get you another cookie, Coach.
Hi, welcome to GBTC. Hit it, Natalie.
Call today and ask for a gig, which is up to 1,000 megabits per second internet speed through the Gbtc Gigaregion. Unlimited long-distance phone service, 24/7 home security monitoring, and free whole home DVR with our HD TV service. GBTC, just plain smart.
All right, now time to Inside Rangers Football to look ahead of the upcoming opponent this week, the East Central Hornets. It's a program Coach Hill's pretty familiar with, a former Hornet himself on the football field. And Coach, you look at this particular team, they're 0-2 coming in, but the Week 1 loss was a one-point affair against San Marcos. Lost to New Braunfels Canyon this past week, 36-16. What do you know about them?
Well, you know, they're very explosive. Their MO through the years, not just this year, has been kind of high-scoring shootout affairs and, 48-49 type games, that sort of thing. And we obviously do not want to get into a track meet with them. You know, we've got to limit their big plays, which they've been able to make on everyone. And I think we were looking to be a little less erratic offensively ourselves. We made much improvement the other night, but still a little herky-jerky, and we've got to get better.
Personnel-wise, you look at the skill positions, you look on defense as well. There's a lot of returners from the game a year ago when you beat the Hornets at Ranger Stadium.
Well, there are, and they're a little banged up in the offensive line. We feel like some of those guys are going to be back this week. Heard them a week ago, but you know, with most non-district games, including this one, it's probably less about East Central or less about the opponent and more about yourself playing to a standard. Improving on some things that need improving. We're focused more on that than the Hornets themselves.
Is there anything specific you want to see improvement with here in this third game?
Well, you know, both of the first two games, we've allowed them to come out with long drives and open the game, and we've been in a 7-0 hole right from the beginning. We'd like to play better early defensively. We have gone into funks offensively in the third quarter, the first 2 weeks. Our kickoff coverage and kickoff returns have been very ordinary. So there's some real areas there that we've got to get better in, not just for the now, but for down the road.
All right, well, the Rangers and Hornets is just one of several District 25 6A games this week. To find out what the district picks are for the other district games, let's kick things over to Ferris Orthodontics.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brent. I'm Tyler Ferris.
I'm Megan Hembry.
And we have your Week 3 Ferris Orthodontics Picks of the Week.
All right, let's line them up.
First game, Wagner High School traveling cross town to Johnson High for a little inner city battle. And I'm going with Wagner on this one by a slim margin.
All right, my pick for this week between the Steel Knights and we have the O'Connor Panthers. I'm afraid this one that the Knights, man, they may just outshine those Panthers and may run a little bit quicker than they do this week.
Week 3, Game of the Week. What do you think that is?
Might just be East Central versus Smithson Valley. That's kind of a tough one.
No, it ain't.
It's not. Go Rangers.
Smithson Valley all the way.
All right, back to y'all.
All right, so to recap, Dr. Hembry has Steele, Dr. Ferris has Wagner, and both of them have Smithson Valley. But, Coach, they don't think it's going to be any contest this Friday, but we all know better. East Central's been a good football program over the years, and each and every Friday night, you got to come out to play.
We do. We got to play well. And they're at home. They're a little bit of a wounded animal losing two, and those wounded animals fight pretty hard, and they are talented, no question. Our kids know it. We've had a good week. We'll be ready. We'll have to be ready.
All right, Smithson Valley, East Central this Friday at 7:30. That's a wrap of episode 2 of Inside Rangers Football. Next week, we're previewing the game against the Madison Mavericks, the final non-district game of the regular season. For Coach Hill, I'm Brant. We'll see you next week.